Hi y'all, welcome to my YouTube channel, Little Ways, Little Things. For some reason, I have always associated Halloween with donuts. I'm not even sure why. I don't even know if I ate donuts at Halloween time, but for some reason, those two always kind of go together for me. And the other day I was out getting donuts for some of my coworkers at work, and I stopped into a Dunkin' Donuts. They had the cutest decorated Halloween donuts. Some had little cake donut spiders on them, and some just had sprinkles. They were very fun and festive. But I also happened to pick up two of their old-fashioned donuts, which is more like a cake donut rather than a yeasty donut. And the yeasty fried donuts are probably more like what you're used to, but the cake donut from Dunkin' Donuts was super good. So I thought I'd come home and kind of combine the two and make myself a cake donut that was really kind of decorated, fun, and festive. So what I did was I found my Pampered Chef donut pan that I got like a year ago from Pampered Chef and have never really used. I just thought it was cute. I am a sucker for cute pans. So I thought I would get this pan, find a good cake donut recipe on the internet, and give it a try. So I thought I'd share with you what I came up with. I absolutely love these little cake donuts. They are adorable and super yummy. There's one, I hope you can see it. It's so cute. I just used regular Halloween sprinkles that I got from Target. And I will definitely link the recipe for that cake donut down below so that you can try making them. I will also link the link for the pan down below. You can use any donut pan out there. You can get them from Amazon, and there's a couple other places that I've seen them. I love this one from Pampered Chef because it was super easy to work with. And I really like the outcome of these donuts. They are so cute and so good and so perfect to have on a nice fall morning with a cup of coffee. I'm going to start off by spraying that Pampered Chef donut pan with some baking spray, and it's that kind of spray that just has a little bit of flour in it. And just make sure they're all sprayed really well. The next thing that I'm going to do is start mixing up the dry ingredients, and I want to mix the dry ingredients all together first. I'm going to start with 3/4 cups of flour and also 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and I'm using an organic cocoa powder from Sprouts, but you can use any kind of cocoa powder you want. Now I'm going to mix in the sugar. That's 1/4 cup of brown sugar packed and 1/4 cup of regular white sugar. So after that, all of those ingredients are in there, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then I'm going to mix all the dry ingredients in my mixer, just making sure to go really slow so they don't like fly up and get powder all over. But I'm just going to make sure those are really well incorporated and some of the little lumps are out of them, especially the brown sugar can sometimes have some lumps. So I want to make sure those are all out. Then I am going to add 1/2 cup of milk. Then I'm adding 2 tablespoons of canola oil, and you can use vegetable oil, but I'm using canola oil here. Then I'm going to add 1 egg that I've already kind of cracked open there. So that's 1 egg. The next thing I'm going to add is 1 teaspoon of my very favorite vanilla, which is from the New Orleans School of Cooking, and I will link it down below. It is so good, so rich. So I'm adding 1 teaspoon of that and kind of just keeping it mixed together. It's starting to get really glossy and really shiny. It's very, very pretty little mixture, and I really thought it smelled delicious. So one of the things that I want to make sure to do is scrape down my bowl just to make sure that any of the dry ingredients did not get pushed to the bottom or the side of the bowl, and just make sure everything is very well incorporated. I'm going to give it a little bit more of a mix, and then after that, it's going to be pretty much ready to put into the pan. I'm going to use my Pampered Chef cookie scoop to fill each one of the holes in the pan 2/3 of the way full. Don't overfill them because then they'll puff up too much. They do rise quite a bit. And if they puff up too much, they'll look more like balls than donuts. So you want to make sure that you give them plenty of room to rise and just do 2/3 of the way full. If you don't have a scoop like this, you can always put the batter in a Ziploc bag, snip off the end, and pipe the batter into the donut holes. Now that's probably a lot neater than what I just did, but I don't care. I'm putting the donuts in an oven at 350 for 12 minutes. The next thing we're going to do is make a vanilla butter glaze. Now I usually make a vanilla glaze to glaze my sugar cookies, but in this case I'm going to try this recipe and I'm going to double it. So I'm putting 1.5 cups of powdered sugar into a bowl along with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I melted 2 tablespoons of butter, let it cool for just a second, and now I'm pouring it over the sugar vanilla mixture. After that, I'm going to start to add milk. That spoon is 2 tablespoons, so I'm going to put the 2 tablespoons in and then start to whisk it just to start getting it incorporated. I know that's not nearly enough liquid, so I'm going to add another 2 tablespoons of milk and then whisk it again. I've been making glaze for a long time and I usually use it on my sugar cookies, so I know that a glaze has to be very thin. This is not frosting. It doesn't go on like cake frosting. It is really thin like a glaze, and in some cases it may even soak into the donut. I don't necessarily want mine to soak all the way in because I want to put the Halloween sprinkles on it, so I'm going to stop when it gets to be just thin but not thick. So I'm going to give this first donut a try, and I dip it in there kind of upside down, and I realize that that's just kind of thicker than what I want. It should be running off the donut, and in that case it kind of stayed exactly where the donut was dipped. So I'm going to cover it with sprinkles and move on to the next one, but I am going to start adding a little bit more milk because I wanted to see if I can thin it out. All right, so just slowly, not a lot, just slowly, I'm going to add a couple more little sprinkles of milk. That was not a whole 2 tablespoons by any means. That may have been 2 teaspoons. And you just make sure you go real slow because you can get too thin really quick. But so that's why I'm kind of doing it, whisking it, adding some more, whisking it, just to make sure that it gets to be the consistency that I like, which is pretty runny. But remember, this will set up later, so it will get hard later. It won't just be runny all the time. So now I'm going to try dipping another donut in and see how it works, and I'm really happy with it. You can see that any holes in the donut that didn't get covered by the glaze is just running back over them because it's starting to run down the sides of the donut, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm going to sprinkle some of those cute chocolate sprinkles with the candy pumpkin sprinkles mixed in, and I'm going to keep frosting the donuts, or icing the donuts rather, until I get them all completed. Now periodically as I am icing the donuts, I notice that the icing starts to set up, and if that icing or glaze starts to set up, you just add a drop or 2 more of milk and whisk it again, and it'll be right back to the consistency that you're looking for. These donuts turned out great, and I will link the recipe down below. They are called Donuts-Copycat Devil's Food Donuts, and I think they were just delicious. I hope they inspire you to maybe try making some donuts this Halloween. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit the bell so you're notified the next time that I upload, and give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel.